Righto team, we want to go to a race at Manawatu today, Awapuni. The JPAC Homes Manawatu Breeders' Stakes Group 3 over the 2000. Now this is going to be interesting, boys, because if you're watching this on Friday morning, obviously this race is yet to be run, but if you catch it any other time after 3:54 this afternoon, you're going to be able to get a quick critique on how you boys have done. So it's going to be interesting in itself. Steve, run us through this market.
Yes, there's a bit of movement here, Thaddeus. On race day, we've seen plenty of action around number 2. So originally, Cinerama, Sam I Am Susie, $2.80 each of 2 on Wednesday. Well, there's genuine separation now. Cinerama now backed into $2.40. Will start a predominant favourite, Cinerama. In front of Sam I Am Susie's, it's gone out a couple of clicks to $3. Le Crier, $4.50, hasn't budged since the opening call. A House of Cartier. Jonathan Parks does the riding here for Peter Didymuir. A fantastic day out of Whanganui yesterday. 8 in a turn fractionally to $7.50. Alana Cord 16 out a couple turns to 18. And Charm Star under the care of Lisa Ladder, back from Australia. So the one run thus far, but maybe an improver still to come. 18 out to 21. But Cinerama, clearly Thaddeus is your best lead. One of the definitely the best bet runner in this race. Probably the best bet runner, not just overall on the meeting today at Awapuni, but including our 2 Saturday races or meetings. Yeah,
okay, BP, we're going to know our fate at 4 o'clock Friday afternoon here, so if you're watching after that time, you're going to get a quick critique on what you say next, so please be accurate.
Dear, oh dear. Look, it's Cinerama. I mean, when you start seeing money for an elegant Sharrock horse, the ears definitely prick up. And look, this is a horse who's in form. I mean, she's in a great space at the moment. She's won, 2 stakes races out of her last 3 starts. She showed that with her win in the Wide Upper Breeders and then with how she won the Cuddle Stakes. So now she gets up to distance of 2,000 metres in a small field. So this race could be very tactical over a distance of 2,000 metres of how this might pan out. So that is probably a key pointer around the race. And then you start lining up those horses that were in the Cuddle Stakes, don't you? The horses like Sam I Am Susie, who finished into 3rd position. Look, that was a big run from her. That was a real test for that runner, but with where she was and what she'd done in sort of 65 and 74 races. And then she's come out and finished 3rd, and she was really strong to the line. I thought Le Crier was actually one of the horses out of that race too that caught the eye, got within a length, ran the best figures in behind. And now we get to see Le Crier going to 2,000 metres for the very first time. Again, there has to be a question mark on that. Yeah. House of Cartier, run at number 1. You spoke about Peter Didymuir's great day yesterday. Look, don't be completely put off by this horse's chances at $7.50. We know she operates well here. I mean, she's won a 1,600 metre feature race. The way that she finished off in the Auckland Cup, it almost looked like she needed further than the 2 miles with where she was, and she was still surging through the line. She went charging up the hill, didn't she, when going past the post after the race had all finished, and she was almost one of the last horses to pull up, and she's done that a number of times, House of Cartier. Look, is she a bit of a smoky at $7.50? I almost keep looking at her thinking, well, in a 6-horse race, she's not going to be that far off them. I'm almost very tempted to have something on her.
Yeah, and there are a few having a bit on her, Steve, because on the eye, it's a nice price for a horse. I suppose the drop back the concern here.
Yeah, touch of a concern, but I think the small field will suit. She may need even tempo, and I'm not sure she's going to get that. There's just no speed in this race, Thaddeus. Sam I Am Susie looks as default leader. If Michael McNabb wants to take up that position, I think it'd be silly not to. Yeah, I mean, the small field does suit Cinerama as well. Look, she's been a lot better in recent times coming out of the machine. She's positioned herself just front of midfield in the Cuddle at Trentham. Look, in the Cuddle, just breaking down the numbers, to the 600, 7.4 lengths below par. So again, did favour horses that were in and around the speed. Dashing home the last 633 and change, which was 4.2 lengths above par. So the race shape, as I mentioned, did favour on-speed runners. Cinerama positioned midfield, but gradually got close to the leaders at around about the top of the straight. I think it was probably 1.5, 2 lengths off the leaders coming around the turn at Trentham. I think it was a vital part in that race in the Cuddle Stakes, probably after 200 metres a furlong from the starting position, when Lisa Allpress held her position midfield and kept Kate Hercock, who was aboard Le Crier, 3 wide facing the breeze. And I'm sure Lisa knew that Le Crier was one of the ones to beat. She was in the marketplace. So Kate Hercock had to come back off heels and place herself behind Cinerama, which was round about 1.5, 2 lengths off Cinerama. So, as BP alluded, Lee Creer did close home the best 6.42 in the race. So, if Lee Creer can, I don't know, sit round about par in terms of the map, v Cinerama, she does have the closing splits to be competitive and finish in front of Cinerama. It's just whether she can position herself, if not in front, but at least maybe on par with Cinerama. But yeah, it is definitely a tactical affair. I'm not sure around Sam I Am Susie, BP. If you're Michael McNabb, would you be looking to make it a sit and sprint, or just run your own race, even tempos up front, and go home from the top of the straight? How would you play? Is your best chance just trying to put the brakes on and make it a sprint home?
Yeah, it sort of screams that, doesn't it? And especially for some of these horses like her as well, you know, finding that position of in front with 2,000 metres for the very first time and trying to get it comfortable is the best way to try and guide you home. So if it's not her, is it a Charm Star second up that might be a little bit more positive from barrier number 6, the 6 of 6 over the 2,000 metres to roll forward with her and put her into a position. So there's a chance for one of those couple of horses to do exactly that and try and dominate this race. Look, I'm not that keen to have a bet in this race, to be completely honest with you. I think Cinerama is the one to beat with what we've seen, but I don't know. I just find this race very curly. So if it would nail me down to have a bet, I'd actually just have something on House of Cartier at the price. I mean, if she can get into a spot where I know what Steve's saying, that the race tempo is not going to be there for her, but as opposed to being 16 lengths off them, she's going to be, you know, back on the fence, potentially 3 or 4 off what's in front of her. So the tempo of the race is the big issue, but she's just going to be closer. And at an $8 quote, I'm happy to find out if she can and still finish over the top of them. So that would be where I am, but overall I'm not too keen. I'm just keen to watch the race. Yeah,
Curly's your middle name, Paul.
I think BP said it when the first time he talked about the race. Alan Sharrock runner, money on. That's good enough for me.
You're a big Alan Sharrock man, aren't you?
Very, very.
Why wouldn't you be?
I really do like the look of Cinerama here. I think that was a masterclass from Lisa Allpress. Was it in the Cuddle? Yeah, lovely, lovely ride. And as you say, the small field will suit Cinerama. She won't be too far off them. This is, I guess, a chance for her to add another stakes race to her resume before heading off to stud, which may not be too far in the distance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just like the way. The money on Alan Sharrock.
It's a good formula, isn't it?
There are some very simple, you know, there's certainties in life. Money on Alan Sharrock runner is one of them.
Yeah, okay. So you're keen. Anything down? Lana Cord, Charm Star. Charm Money for Charm Star last time.
Yeah, it wasn't the worst run, fresh up last time out.
Okay.
With Billy Pin on, who I think has really matured as a jockey over the last month or so.
Been going well.
Once again, in a small field, $21. You always say take the outsider in a small field.
We know that stat's not true though, unfortunately. We like saying it though. That's the key. Yeah, okay.
Not sure what to do with Lana Cord.
Yeah.
I mean, the majority of these horses are going to naturally progress towards the Travis at Te Rapa in a few weeks' time. Wait for Age, Fillies and Mares, 2,000 metres, and I'm sure Lana Cord will go in that direction. Look, she ran the 6 fastest closing splits in the Cuddle, including a sub-12 for the last 200. I don't have her in the mix in this race. Look, I understand why they might push on towards a Travis, but even then I've got a question mark against her. Again, I've said it previously on this podcast, I want to see this horse target 2,000 plus staying races on the minimum or close to the minimum in handicap races, because she's still well placed with her.
So New Zealand Cups and the like, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, absolutely. There might not be too much for her going forward with the deterioration of track conditions and winter, etc. But look, I think she's a nice little stayer, and with her low rating currently, she's low 80s, I believe. She's a decent candidate to tick off maybe a New Zealand Cup or even a Wellington Cup next season.
Yeah, okay. So you're all in Cinerama here then?
Big time.
Basically.
Yes, please.
Okay. And
Breeding Buffs, quick shout out. She's sensational.
I was going to mention
steal your
it.
thunder, sorry.
No, I'd forgotten to, so please, yes. Half sisters.
Yeah, half sisters, House of Cartier and Cinerama, doing a grand job. And
out of the Auckland Cup winner, wasn't she? Auckland Cup winner?
The Auckland Cup winner, yep. She won a Wait for Age 2,000 metre race too. I think she was, at least 2 Group 1s, potentially 3 from memory. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.